Diane Brame is a producer, director, videographer, and most recently a music artist. In mid-June, Diane released what appeared to be her first single entitled I'm So Tired, in response to the social unrest following the killing of George Floyd.
I know I can't be the only one fed up, seeing black men dying with their hands straight up, seeing black kings blood spilled no matter how young, seeing black dad shot with a white cop's gun, seeing black...
So I invited her to talk about the decision to make a song, the music video, and how all of this has impacted her personally. So, I wanted to have you on today because of your song that you posted. I'm So Tired, and you reposted that in response to the shooting deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, and the protests. So, my first question is, had you been dabbling in music prior to putting the song out?
I actually had. I've been rapping since I was like 15. I've had an interest in that. I just didn't put out a lot of stuff. When I was in high school, I did like gospel rap and things like that. As I was allowed. I was gospel rapping and stuff. I did a lot of church events and stuff like that. So I actually performed at some things doing that. But then once I got to college, I just started getting around more people. Like, I actually had linked up with like the Universal Zulu chapter in the area. Just being around. I went to HBCU, things like that, just really getting immersed in the culture and learning different things and just being in that type of atmosphere, that creativity for me, it just that outlet changed into that. While I was in undergrad is when Trayvon Martin was killed. And then, not long after that, Mike Brown was killed by police as well. And I just remember being so angry behind that and writing it out and literally in rhythmic form. That was the one way that I could keep from just catching my own charges. Because it just really bothered me. It's like these kids are, one, they're like my age. Two, that could be my brother. That could be my cousin. I have a cousin that's moved here from Gary, Indiana. I have another cousin I think he just turned 19 this year. So these young men, they look like babies to me, even though they're 6'5" and they intimidate other people.
Mm-hmm.
But these are our kids, and y'all are literally killing our children. Like these boys was about to start at school. Both of them had ambitions to go to college. So I just remember that, and I was writing about it. But, I never put it out. And then, other things happened. It was a young man that was shot and killed. I believe it was in Arkansas. He was an athlete. For the life of me, I can't call his name right now. And I remember writing about that. I just remember being in tears, and I wrote a rap about that, but I never put it out, just all of these lyrics just building up, because this is how I let out my emotions about this, especially with this type of situation, so it just got to a point where it was like, how many rhymes am I going to write? How many raps, honestly, can I write? How many hashtags is it going to take for y'all to stop killing us? And it's sisters too, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, like you mentioned, it's just, when y'all gonna stop killing us? Y'all literally are killing us, and you're supposed to be serving and protecting. That's what it says on your car, but when you come through, I'm scared, so that's really where the music took it. That's where it took it to me. It really just became an outlet for all of that, and just having been that way for the last 6 years, it took George Floyd's death for me to actually say, you know what, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting out there how I feel, and that's it. Maybe it'll resonate with somebody, and it did. So again, thanks for having me on the show too, because I'm just resonated with you too, because it really was it's just my raw emotions, man. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, it was, I knew, like maybe days after George Floyd, I was like, this feels different, right? Before it had even before the weekend had even come and things exploded, like, because the weekend, that's when like it really started to get a little violent, and it the protests really started to ramp up. But I just remember feeling like this is different. This moment is different. And so when I saw you post it, I was like, okay, it confirmed what I was feeling, because I was like, we're getting a response I was surprised by the response I was getting from a lot of my white friends on social media, and then just seeing people who I don't see normally speak out, and I was like, yo, this is definitely more than just like, it's not what it was before. Like, this is not going to just go quietly. Like, we're making some noise about it. This is really kind of affecting people right now. And so not only did you put this song out, but you did a music video too. So let's talk about the music video. And I'm just like, I think it's one of the things I love about it is so dope to me is that, like, you wrote this rap, you put this song together, and then you made a music video, like, yourself, like, you did all the things, and that even impressed me even more. So talk to me a little bit about, wanting to put a music video out there and, the process of putting that together.
Funny thing, so I didn't want to do a whole song. I was just gonna put something out there on Instagram, like I think I wrote like a quick 30 to 60 second rap, but that first part that's a little slower, that's more mellow. I wrote that to that beat, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just record myself writing this and rapping this and put it out, which I haven't done that, I don't think ever. You know what I mean? So that was already in my mind. I'm like, you know what? I just got to get this off my chest. I was literally in tears writing it. It just really, and I don't cry a whole lot. You know what I mean? So it just really, that looks like my dad. That's what was different with George Floyd for me. It was like, you know what? Literally, that looked like I couldn't imagine someone having their knee on my father's neck. When my father's had neck surgery recently. So that was a thing too. It's just like, you're literally crushing him, and he's saying he can't breathe. He's calling to his mother that's not even living anymore. And you just refuse to move. Yeah. Like, you feel like you have that much authority over this man's life, and he's a father. He's a whatever he is to anybody, an uncle, a cousin, whatever it may be, he's human at the end of the day. So I don't know. It just took me back to that place. I'm sorry, but what were we talking about? I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, it just really looked like my dad.
Oh no, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
I was just talking about just the inspiration behind putting the music video together. You said
with the music
video, only
right?
did the first part.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I'm getting hot right now, but I'm having all those feelings. Yeah. I was like, I just want to put something out. Yeah. I want my voice to be heard for this. On a social media platform, not just word of mouth. Face to face type of thing. Especially can't be face to face because COVID. Yeah. And my fiance says no. Like, I did it for her. She's like, no, this sounds. You need to finish it and put it out. Like, you need to really do this right. And she said the same thing. This is what you do. So you can't just, in her terms, half-ass it. But you gotta be, come correct, and the moment is now, and it's not that you can't, because you can. So I was like, okay. So, I wrote some more, and then I found the other beat, put that together. I edited both the beats together, and, finished writing the song. I recorded it. And, once I recorded it, it was like, in my mind, while I'm recording it, I had all of these ideas about different visual elements I could do for it. And then it was like, you know what? Let's just go to the monument, and I reached out to some friends of mine, not a lot. It was just, the people that were there, was like 6 or 7 of us. And we went down there and we shot it. And that's how it, and it came to be what it was. I came back, edited it together, and put it out there, and funny story, my videographer, who's a friend of mine from college, he did mass comm as well. He couldn't make it. His daughter had a medical emergency, so he wasn't able to make it. So I recorded that myself too. So I had it on a tripod for some shots, and then I had it on a tripod just walking down the street, recording as like, kind of like a GoPro, just a heavy one. But yeah, so that's really how the video came about. It was her pushing, and then just really seeing that, like you said, this moment is different. Yeah. 2020 altogether has just been different than anything else I've ever experienced in my life. And it felt like if I was ever gonna say what I had to say, it was now.
Yeah.
And I said what I had to say in that song, and I was like, I want my voice to be heard. You know, you're gonna hear me.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna hear me.
I love that. And I think I love that you said, like, you know, you want your voice to be heard, like you're going to hear me, because essentially, like, that is why people have been taken to the streets, because Black people have been saying this over and over and over again. We've been talking, you know, somebody even made a post, like, we've been putting it in our music, we've been putting it in our videos, like we have been putting it in our books, and like we're still not being heard. And so, you know, when I saw your video and I heard your song and I saw what my other friends were contributing to this moment, I was like, yo, we aren't out there protesting, but like we are making it known that this is not okay, that we are not okay with this. You know, the fact that you just recalling, you know, you putting this together and why you put it together, and just those feelings bubbling up, like that says something. You know, you said George Floyd, he looks like my father, you know, and he is a brother, cousin, uncle, like, you know, we all have a family member who looks like that. And so it's definitely just, and the song, you know, I'm so tired, and I was like, yes. And I think that's what like just gave me chills, was just like, yo, I like, that's how we all felt. Like it was just a collective, as Black people, like a collective exhaustion of, I'm tired of seeing Black people dying. And just at 2020 at this point, we're just tired of Black people dying.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So girl, yes. So wait a second. I love it too. You wrote the song, you made the beats, you mixed it, you shot the video, you edited. Bravo.
Thank you, man.
I would have only been able to write it. Lord, don't try to put me out here and make no beats. They're going to sound like some Super Nintendo something child. Nah, I can't do that. But I do want to talk about this. What does it feel like as a Black lesbian expressing yourself in this medium, especially when a lot of LGBTQ people are seen to be left out of the conversation when it comes to Black Lives Matter?
That's a good question. And honestly, I'm like a triple or quadruple minority. You know, I'm a female, I'm a Black female, I'm a lesbian, and I'm a masculine presenting woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's always a lot, you know, and even just going back to the song being actually put out, just out there, you know, for the university. I do media. I've been doing media for a minute now, and I know that social media follows you. It's a lot of times where I wanted to say certain things or speak out on certain causes, but I didn't, because I was scared of what may happen 5 or 10 years from now when I'm applying for that job and someone looks on my profile and sees something that, you know, they may not agree with. You know, because everybody's not us. You know what I'm saying? Especially in those higher roles, which is something that, you know, we just are working to change now, breaking those barriers. But it's still a journey ahead of us with that, even in media professions. So that was a big thing for me about being heard. It was just like, you know what? I don't want you to get stuck on any of that. You know, like my fiance is in the video, but it's like we're not, like, it wasn't a go rainbow video. You know what I mean? Like she's just another person in it holding a sign. You get what I'm saying? And that was important to me, one, because I love her, but two, because it showed that this is the message right now. You know, what we're talking about right now, yes, it's 800 other things to get to. We're going to get to it. Black on Black crime, which, you know, it's a lot of different debates about that. Should that even exist? You don't say white on white crime. Why do we say, you know, all those things like that? I get it, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about, why did this cop just yesterday kneel on this man's neck and suffocate him to death? You know, that's what we're talking about right now. Like you said, we're talking about right now is the movement of Black Lives Matter. I don't care what type of Black life it is. I don't care if it's a green life, blue life, purple life. If you identify as Black right now, your life matters. It's always mattered, which is the issue, which is why we're upset. And the whole point of this movement is to stay focused on that topic right there until we get these changes made, until we get in the face of enough people, until we get on enough lobby floors to say, hey, like, they are not playing. You know, these Black folks are not kidding around. You know, as a lesbian, of course, it's certain things that, you know, I would like to see change. I mean, of course, we have the right to marry. That's great, but that everybody's not getting married. You know what I mean? So that didn't really mean anything to me until now that I'm engaged. It's like, well, yeah, I can actually marry my life partner. We don't just have to be roommates forever. You know, that's great. You know, but you know, having protections at work, you know, those things came up after that. You know, so it's like baby steps. You know, they're baby steps. You know, people, you know, addressing you the way that you prefer to be addressed. You know, I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. She and her is fine for me. Other people, they feel like, you know, I'm an apple, call me an apple. You know what? You grown, I'm gonna call you an apple. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you feel in your heart, that's what the Lord made you to be, cool. You know, that's not my business. But as far as just having my voice heard in this time, I just wanted Diane's voice to be heard. I look at it, all these things are just parts of what I am. You know, I feel like me being a lesbian, even identifying that way, that's always going to be a part of me because that's just me. That's just like me, you know, circling that I'm Black/African American on a form. I am, you know, that's just what it is. And right now we're talking about me being Black. I don't want to do anything that would deter from the current movement, you know, which is why it's not anything alluding to anything else in that video. Like, it's literally a march. Like, we're marching down the street, period. We at the monument. This is what we're talking about. Take this down. You know what I mean? That's it. We can talk about this other stuff later. You know, but that's just how I see it. I know other people may disagree. You know, especially those in the LGBTQ community, especially like trans people, they felt very left out and ostracized from this. And I get it. You know, I get it. You shouldn't be, I feel like at the end of the day, you shouldn't be put down or mushed to the side for any reason. You know, we're all just people. At the end of the day, you're a person, I'm a person. We need to have a common and mutual respect for each other, which is why the Black Lives Matter movement is what it is. Because Black people have for centuries not been treated the way that we're supposed to be treated and acknowledged in this country. You know, so I identify as that as well. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me to try to distract from, I feel like some people try to distract from the Black Lives Matter movement and put the LGBTQ agenda back on the forefront. And it's like, I feel you, I get it, but right now, let's finish talking about this first. Because this is the most this is the most noise I've heard ever. You know, I mean, some people would say since Rodney King, but I don't really remember that. I was like 3. So,
Same.
you know.
Pretty young. I got you. Okay. That's definitely a different perspective, you know, that I was hearing. And I really felt like, you know, I wanted to address it because sometimes, you know, I think one of the things that I've been hearing is that when we talk about Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ people, like, they don't kind of get that attention. Black LGBTQ people in particular kind of don't get that attention when it comes to Black Lives Matter. So for me, seeing you, you know, knowing that you're a Black lesbian and you're speaking up about Black Lives Matter, and, you know, knowing that sometimes, a lot of the times, like, you guys don't get that attention. It's I'm doing my research. I educated myself to make sure that I'm not being ignorant and that I'm, like, including all voices and all perspectives on it. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. You know, I definitely appreciate that because it's a thing. You know, it really is a thing. Like, I would be lying if I said it wasn't, you know. But, you know, like I said, like, my main goal for this was to speak to, you know, what just happened. Those are the emotions that were swelling up for me. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because that was the overall. I feel like for me, I'm comfortable with myself. you know, and I wasn't always comfortable with myself and my sexuality, but today I'm comfortable with myself. And because I am comfortable with myself, I don't have to have rainbows falling out my ears. I don't have to keep a bag of Skittles on me to throw them at people. Like, I don't need it. You know, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I'm Diane Brame, and I'm walking down the street and I'm minding my business. I got a job. I got a fiance. I live in an apartment. I live in Portsmouth. I have a lot of other things that connect me to you and to other people from Portsmouth, but not, you know, so it's like, I don't shy away from it. You know, like I said, like I don't wear dresses or skirts. You know, I'm not sneaking wearing dresses to interviews and things like that because they're going to be confused when I come for the first day. You know, this is what you get. Not this t-shirt, but you know, I'm gonna dress nice, but you know, this is what you get. You're gonna get these khakis and this button up and we're gonna do this job because that's what I'm here for, is to do my job. You know, so that's kind of how I take that same approach to everyday living. But I definitely feel like it's different types of representation, and because LGBTQ plus has become so much broader than just LGBTQ, you know, like it's I mean it's several, it's like a couple dozen letters now, you know, being represented. And some of it I don't agree with, you know, just being honest. Even though I'm a lesbian, I might not agree with certain things, you know, but I respect you as a person, you know, and I feel I just want that same respect from anyone else. You know, that's all I'm looking for, is that same respect. You know, I command it. You know, I'm gonna give it to you. I expect it in return. You know, so definitely, you know, I appreciate you educating yourself, because some people just feel like it's not. They just feel like they shouldn't have to or something. And I don't agree with that. I feel like if I have to, you know, I look up things to address people in the proper way, or to just be respectful and to be mannerable. You know, why can't you do that for me as well? But you want so much for yourself. You know, and I think that's where the All Lives Matter thing came from, because it's like they're just trying to protest with you. You know, we're just out here in the streets with you. You know, we're getting shot at too, but you know, because we're trans or gay or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like that I feel like that's where that split came from. But like I said, I see it as a split. I look at things with my media eye. From the outside looking in, it looks like we're now divided amongst ourselves. We have 8 different hashtags. Like, just keep it at BLM for right now, you know, and we'll get to the other stuff later.
I got you. Thanks, man. That was yeah, man. We're gonna talk more about that. But so my last question is, can we expect more music from you in the future?
Oh my gosh, man. Look, I mean, probably so. Like I said, a lot of my writing has been emotionally motivated. So the sad part to that is that I kind of don't want to have to write this type of song again. Not this passionately. You know what I mean? I feel like that was portrayed in the song, just the emotions that I was feeling with the situation at hand, but I want the situation to change, you know, and that was kind of the point of the song. So, you know, I would like to do some other things, but like I said, music just hasn't been, it's never been like my main focal point. You know, just amongst everything else I got going on. But yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see. Time will tell.
I mean, it was hot. It's hot. It's hot right now.
Thank you.
I was on iTunes like, is it up here? No, okay, it's cool.
I'm not streaming on all platforms. No.
Just put it on SoundCloud.
I'll look into that. I could put it on SoundCloud. I can do that.
Thank you, Diane, so much. I really appreciate you for taking this time out with me.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this interview. Did you know you can also check out Trish Pluggedn, Creatives About the Movement, via podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. So subscribe today.